Another minute or two, and within this minute we can just ground ourselves, gather anything we might need to get cozy tonight. We typically keep it pretty chill. The class remains open and intuitive, but it tends to start with a meditation, or at least incorporate meditation at some point. So if you want to have any prop to kind of help you with that. Hello, everyone that's joining. Welcome and thank you. Okay. Oh, good. Hi, glad you were able to make it in, Zan.
Yeah, hi.
I saw that it was all funky on here, but cool. You are in. Let's see, we have two more that are signed up, but let's give them just one more minute. And with this minute, if you haven't already, find a comfortable position for your body. And we start however we want the body to be. And if you don't know what that is, maybe you kind of experiment by making some movement and finding some stillness. And maybe you make movement again. We'll just breathe into all of the parts of our body, all of the parts of our body. So take time here, allow the breath to explore as you settle in to whatever position you're choosing. Notice the parts of the body that are connected with the floor. Physically finding the ground here, identifying your grounding parts. Tuning into this ground, this earth element, this structure. Notice the structure of your own body, the physicality of it, all your bones and joints and bits and pieces, the fleshy parts that are attached. And notice your soft outer layer of that flesh. Tuning into the parts of the body that make contact with your clothing, with the air. Really hang out with this air for a bit. The air that surrounds you, the air that enters your lungs, the air that leaves your lungs and surrounds you once again. If you like counting breaths, let's count 5 of them here. good with. The next few breaths, notice your heart. The region of your chest, it might expand as you inhale, and you might notice your pulse or heartbeat pounding in the cavity of yours. Maybe you're able to follow the pulse as it runs through your body, through your veins. With these next few cycles of breath, see if you can follow the cycle of your blood, of your life. Wow. Okay. I used 2 different decks and I pulled strength from both of them. If you want to look at the screen here, I'll hold the cards up so you can see what strength looks like according to Mother Peace Tarot, the circular card, and Rider Waite Tarot. I love the balance of colors they used. Let me adjust my lighting here so it's a little better. I love the different representations of strength here. And that is the beauty of this card too. There's a sense of gentleness and connection to other creatures. We have green, luscious, fertile, abundant land here. A sense of like mountains and expansion in both of the environments. However, one of them looks like it's this bright sunny day, and the other one is during a full moon at night. Strength happening around the clock. And I love this power here that's tied to the night and day. Let's just take a few moments to kind of sit with that, with the concept of being strong all night and all day. We'll unpack this message of strength throughout class. Let us meditate. I encourage a seated meditation, but do what feels right in your body. And then as we come back in here, tune back into those parts, the floor, the structure of your body, both internally and externally, the breath and the heart. We'll take 5 more breaths again. Sitting with any thoughts or perceptions we might have picked up from this archetype. There is so much to be said about strength. A lot of messages are coming to me at once. I'm choosing to be mindful with what I choose to share. Because how we define strength matters. the most rudimentary definition, the way that our childhood selves probably interpreted strength would be in the physical, the muscular, the strong men, usually men, able to lift heavy things. There's also some tie-in with like fighting, right? Like overcoming, being strong to have the power to overcome some sort of enemy or obstacle. The hero versus the villain. But we all know, as we continue to age and observe, that strength is so much more than that. Yes, there is a sense of toughness, as in firmness, as in a solid foundation of self and belief, perhaps justice. Strength for your own empowerment, and strength to uplift others, or perhaps free others. And it doesn't have to be about fighting, it can be about freeing and liberating. There's strength and stillness and patience. Faith and hope are feelings that can be strong. Let's check in with our seat as we're sitting here. Check in to the pelvis. Physically notice if there's any forward or backward tilt, or maybe a lean from one side or the other. Maybe you bring a little bit of engagement to some of these pelvic muscles or thigh muscles. Just a little bit of awareness, of firmness to create our own solid foundations, to embody strength here in our pelvis, in our root. If you work with the chakra system, you might check in with Muladhara, the root chakra. We'll take these next few moments to really zone in here and be present for what is. Let's take another deep breath together through the nose with the inhale. Big sigh, exhale. Good, and with that sigh, open your mouth nice and big. Maybe you kind of experiment with that jaw a bit, shaking it from side to side. Maybe not shaking, but kind of wiggling it. That's probably a better word. Notice the tongue too. Stick it out. Maybe make circles with it. Maybe you brush your teeth and lips with it. You might curl it. Good. And like a lion, let's let out another sigh with that big open mouth and the tongue sticking out. And maybe you choose to roar. You're all at home and muted. You're safe. It's fine. That's the sound that chose to leave my body. Let's do it again. Good, and then bring a little rest to the face here. Notice the eyebrows, the cheeks, the ears, the temples. Softening in the jaw, the throat, the shoulders. Noticing the side body, the rib cage, the length of the spine. And then bring it back down to your pelvis again and your seat. And take a deep breath here, feeling both sides of your seat, the right and the left. With your inhale, notice the mid back and the side body up to the diaphragm. When you exhale, bring the awareness back down to the seat. Good, another focused flow here. Inhale, feel the entire belly and low back and diaphragm. Exhale back down. Good. Next, inhale, full chest and lungs. Feel those shoulders, perhaps. Exhale back down. Good. Another big inhale here. Exhale down to the seat and down the arms too. Good. Another breath to the throat. Exhale out the mouth. Inhale through the nose. Exhale out the entire head. Good. Inhale, reach the top of the head to the sky. Feel the length. Exhale to the foundation. Feel that strength again. Maybe you tune back into those strong core and pelvic muscles. And then just hang out, witness your own breath for the next few moments. Good. Let's begin to wiggle our fingers a bit. My hands were on my lap, and wherever yours were, let's lift them up where they are. Maybe you make some circles with the wrists. Good. And let's help out our hands and wrists here with some stretches. So we'll bring the right hand in front of us with the palm facing down. Just allow the left hand to bring those fingers back. You might incorporate the thumb too. So I like to feel support behind all the joints of my fingers, not just in the tips, but supporting the entire joint here. And then tune in to the length of your arm here. See if you can kind of align the shoulder with the wrist. Maybe soften the elbow just a little. Good, and then go the other way, bringing the wrist in the other direction. Good, another extension in the wrist, bringing the palm forward. And then another flexion, bringing it down. And really notice all of these fingers here. And let's give our hands a little bit of love here, just some intuitive massage. I like to kind of press my thumb into my palm and search around here. The area in the fleshy part between the thumb and forefinger tends to be quite tender. And maybe you kind of pull on each finger here, kind of get some traction in the joints. Ooh, one of mine just popped. That felt super nice. We're on a roll. Good. And then just shake it out. Shake it out. Let it go limp. Good. Figure eights with the wrist. Good. And then bring the hands back to the lap. Mine were on the lap, but I don't think I cued it. So bring them back wherever they were. And just notice one hand versus the other. Good. When you're ready, left hand in front, and then we'll raise this palm. Tune in to support in the joints. And then maybe find a line in the joints of your arm to the shoulder. Great, and then press the other way, palm down. Just really be aware of what you feel here. We'll go the other way again, palm back up. Just notice the forearm and wrist. Good, and then back down again. Great. Let's kind of massage it as it feels right. Spending some time with your palm and your fingers. Maybe the back of the hand. Good. Hand love. Let's shake the left hand nice and loose. Flap it around. Maybe little circles or figure eights in the wrist as your flaps become a little more gentle. Great, and now we'll put both of our hands on the floor and just kind of hang out for a second. We will shift first, we will shift onto all fours, but first really feel the foundation of these hands. Spread those fingers nice and wide. And then whenever you're ready, come to all fours. Excuse me. Tabletop. Good. Tune into your core here. Hugging the navel towards the spine, whatever that means. Feel length in the side body. And when we can begin with our cat-cows and any other intuitive movements that feel right here. I like to make circles with my ankles as I do this. Maybe kind of rock the pelvis from side to side. We have these front and back motions coming as we curl the spine and arch the spine. But there's so much more happening. You might notice your neck and face. And you might notice your hands again. Good. Let's give ourselves 5 more breaths. That seems like it's been a nice number to work with today. Good. I'll be honest with you, I wasn't counting. Let's take one more. And with your exhale, long spine again. Good. Let's very slowly and mindfully thread the needle. So first, solid foundation on the knees and the left hand on the floor. Let's bring the right arm out to the side, 90 degrees, palm facing down. Just hang out here for a bit. See if you can feel all the muscles that need to work to do this. And bring your head and gaze to look at that hand. And notice your upper body, your right rib cage, and the length of your spine. We're going to slowly lift that arm up and pause for a bit. So go as feels comfortable, maintaining integrity in the shoulder joint. Notice your next inhale. Exhale, now we thread the needle, bringing the shoulder down. And any modification for this left arm, forearm might come to the floor. Maybe you create a bind and bring the back of the hand to the low back or the outer hip. Option number 3, whatever works for you. Another breath. Good. Release when and how you want to. We'll come back to all fours whenever we want. A couple more cat-cows. Or any other movements that feel right. Good, and we'll meet up with one another back on all fours again. So switch it out. Solid foundation is now to the right hand in the knees, and we lift that left arm out to the side. And just tune into the shoulders and the hips here. Notice that left side body and the left side of the back. Bring the gaze to meet the hand. Slowly bring that chest and hand up. Good. Solid foundation. Breathe it in. Exhale, thread the needle. A few breaths on this side.
Good. With your next breath, release it. Good. Come back to all fours. If you want to stretch out your legs, feel free to come to a down dog or a forward fold. If not, maybe you do a couple more cat-cows, but sometime within the next 5 or so breaths, we'll meet in a child's pose. So these next few breaths are up to you. Good. If a child's pose doesn't work for you today, feel free to just lie down flat on your belly perhaps, or your side with the knees curled in, maybe. Plenty of options. Another option for a child's pose is some support, maybe a bolster or pillow or cushion, either underneath your chest or maybe underneath your seat, maybe both. Good. So the settings of these two cards are shown as day and night. So we have a well-rounded representation of yang and yin. Yang and yin, the masculine and feminine energies, of which we all hold both. We all hold both. I like to say I'm attracted to gentle men and strong women. There's strength in both aspects. There's strength in gentleness, in humility, softening and overabundance of that yang masculine. The willingness to be understanding, to listen, to show compassion and empathy. It is hard for some men in our society to be allowed to be gentle. And the same can be said for strength in women. For power. And it's worth mentioning those that don't identify with either. What a strength to have that sense of self. These cards also show connection. Connection with other life forms. Because we are stronger when we are together.
We are stronger when we are together. Togetherness has probably been redefined this year. How do we show up for one another? How do we support one another? How can we? A few more breaths, maybe 5 of them. There's strength in numbers and community. There's strength in the action of gathering people together, of being a leader. A strong leader has strong supporters. A strong leader empowers others to be strong. A strong leader does not need other people's strength. A strong leader knows that in order to be strong themselves, they have to let other people be strong for themselves too. Whatever that means. Let's roll on our backs with these next few moments. It might feel nice to hug the knees into your chest. Good. Notice that pelvis again, that root. If happy baby is in your practice, we can come to it now. Bending those knees out, holding onto the feet or ankles. This is optional, but you're welcome to wiggle around in this hip opener, maybe rocking from side to side. Good. Let's bring the soles of the feet to the floor. Continue our pelvic noticings here. Let's lengthen the tailbone. Feel a nice broadening in the low back, the backs of the hips. We can bring our hands onto our hips or low belly or thighs. So anywhere in this general region.
Let's bend the right knee towards the chest. Keep the left foot where it is. The knees bent, foot's on the floor. Good. Feel that right knee hugging in, noticing the backs of the thigh and glutes. And then to your own comfort, let's straighten the right leg. So the knee might not go all the way straight, and that's okay. You can point and flex the heel and toes as you come here. Just full awareness of the right leg. Good, and feel the length. Breathe it in. Exhale, knee bends back to the chest again. Good, we'll come to a figure 4 here. The right ankle comes to the left thigh. So like a pigeon. We can bring our hands back to stabilize ourselves here. So I like to have the right hand kind of closer to the right knee, just to kind of increase a little more opening, a little self-assist. Take a few breaths. Notice anywhere that the body is engaged, that the muscles are enacted, and then ask yourself if that needs to be there. Good, another breath. Great. We're going to transition to a spinal twist. Option to wrap the right leg around the left as you come to your twist. This is optional. You might just have the knees next to one another. But we'll drop them over to the left so we can reach the right arm and shoulder towards the other side. And just feel this twist through our spine, maybe even twisting in the neck too. And then again, scan the body, find some ease. There's this idea, this kind of inferred idea that strength is hard, that it's hard work, that it's a challenge, that there has to be work and effort. But let's not allow these words to permeate into our yoga practice. No force, no forced effort. Instead, letting go, releasing, and just being with it. Good, another breath. Fully in. All of the air out. When you're ready, we'll release. Oh, and then any intuitive movements that feel right. Great, we will rest both soles of the feet back to the floor again. Let's drop the knees from side to side for a couple of rounds. Just notice the glutes, the low back. And then we'll find stillness again and just tune into our pelvis and return our hands to that area, anywhere there, hips, belly, thighs. Be present with what is. There is strength in silence. Come to your figure 4 on the left side. Left ankle to right thigh, left knee opening up. Another breath. Good. Come to your spinal twist. Maybe wrapping the left leg around, maybe not. Take another breath. Great. Release back to center. Any movements that feel right. And you might come to a brief little legs up the wall here. If you want to commit to going to the wall and hanging out here for a while, feel free. Otherwise, you can just lift the legs up for these next few moments. We have about 8 minutes left of class. So you might do this for about a minute or so, and then come into your final resting position. Or maybe you fill this time in other ways, like actually going to the wall to bring the legs up. Or maybe you do a different pose, maybe like a heart opener or a supported bridge or something. Or maybe you're ready to come to your Shavasana. I'm going to allow for the next 8 minutes to be silent.
Begin to deepen your breath. I was so entranced in that silence, I actually gave us 9 minutes of it. Sorry. Let's come back into our bodies, maybe some wiggles of the fingers and toes, maybe some stretches. We did go 1 minute over, but that doesn't mean we have to rush to end it. Come to a seat to close out class at your own pace. Good. Let's bring our hands so the fingertips come together. We'll just bring it in front of our lower abdomen, our hara, the base of our pelvis. Let's take a deep breath together here. In through the nose, out through the mouth. Thank you very much for joining me for practice today. Double strength. I wish you all a restful night. Take care, everyone.